of our lecture series. Today, Dr. S. Velmurugan is with us. He is a very close friend of mine, and we work together in many areas. Anyway, he agreed to deliver this lecture, today's lecture on road safety. Dr. S. Velmurugan is presently working as a Chief Scientist at CSIR Central Road Research Institute, New Delhi, and also the former head of the Traffic Engineering and Safety Division of CSIR CRRI. He has completed his PhD in Transportation System Engineering at IIT Bombay in the year 1995. And he has also pursued two prestigious postdoctoral research programs, one at the University of Antwerp, Belgium for 12 months in 1998, and the University of South Australia, Adelaide, for about 6 months in 2008. He was instrumental in the formulation or revision of 15 IRC publications during the last 12 years. A big contribution from Velmurugan as a scientist from CRRI. He has served in the capacity of project leader or coordinator in the World Bank sponsored project, as well as National Highways Authority of India and various state public works department for the conduct of various stages of road safety audit covering almost more than 9,000 kilometers. Such an experienced road safety auditor is with us today. He is acting as the joint course coordinator for the flagship course offered for the highway and transportation fraternity in the country since May 2017, namely the 15-day certification course on road safety audit and other road safety related aspects. In fact, 4 of our NATPAC scientists were trained under his guideship, and even from Kerala also other faculty also trained for this 15 days course, so certification course at CRRI. In December 2017, he has completed a CSIR sponsored project titled Indian Highway Capacity Manual, Indo-HCM, a very prestigious project by CSIR, assuming the role of champion in close relation with the faculty representing IITs, NITs, and the state university. I was very happy that I was also present at CRRA during the release of this Indo-HCM. Such a big, marvelous work, and probably he is still continuing with that the work, and probably to improve that one, and maybe the other research institutes, IITs and NITs also can contribute to this the Indo-HCM. He was awarded with many medals. We have PWD medals in 2005 and 2011 by IRC for the best research papers published in 2003 and 2010 in the Journal of Indian Road Congress. And also he was the recipient of the prestigious IRC Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Birth Centenary Award in 2009 for his outstanding research contribution to the highway profession in the country. He is the recipient of Outstanding Scientist Medal in March 2015, issued by the STOIL Planning Commission, Government of India, along with the Construction Development Council. He has published more than 150 technical papers in international and national journals or conferences. Welcome, Dr. Velmurugan, to this audience. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And not only our NATPAC scientists, of course, you know NATPAC, and now you were supposed to sit in my chair, like, listen, we were together, and that.
No, it's not.
No, I hope that, listen, you will be at CRRI, the director post. I hope that, listen, you will get that one shortly.
Thank you.
Very, very good. That one, and of course, not only with our NATPAC scientists, even like other students and people are also joined. Almost 40 people are on online. So, on behalf of the participants, I welcome and second welcome you. We can take about 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes. As
Yeah, thank you. That's
okay.
it.
And probably at the end of the session, probably we can have some introductions also. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Samson Matthews, and also the entire team of NATPAC for having invited me on this prestigious occasion of 50 years of science and technology celebration by Kerala government, wherein I understand NATPAC is organizing such an event in this particular week. So I'm really proud to be making the presentation. I hope I'm audible totally, no problem. I'm just going to share the screen.
Yeah, you're audible, sir. You're audible.
Oh, my screen is visible. I'm just making it in the.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it in?
Yeah, it is in the
mode?
presentation mode now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this is the. I thought on this particular occasion, I'll try to speak slightly different from what when we speak about road safety. Nowadays, as we understand from many such projects being carried out in the country, wherein we try to multidisciplinary way we try to work as we see in Intrans C1 and Intrans C2, where DITI, Department of Information and Electronics is sponsoring such studies to various reputed institutes. So similar such endeavor, we have just made a small attempt wherein we are, it's a presently ongoing study. We just started it in September 2011. We are supposed to end it by August 2023. So wherein we are trying to utilize the expertise, that tool, artificial intelligence, that tool which is available through learned experts like Intel India, IIIT Hyderabad, Mahindra and Mahindra as one of the sponsoring partner, along with NI Center, Artificial Intelligence Center at IIIT, with CRRI being the coordinating organization. We are doing one project called Project IRASTE. So I thought I'll try to present some of the ongoing research outputs which we are getting, which we are doing it for the city of Nagpur, wherein we try to marry the artificial intelligence with road engineering. As I told you, it's a sort of a multidisciplinary approach. We try to adapt it. So I'm happy to make this small presentation. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is the profile or agenda of my presentation. I'll be just giving a brief overview about the road safety profile in the city of Nagpur, and an overview of the project profile, how we are actually attempting it, and how we are going to go. We are addressing this task as a pilot study. We are trying to divide it largely under the vehicle safety vector, mobility vector, and infrastructure vector. So in the vehicle safety, of course, training aspect is also included. So we are trying to have sub-classified thing where training is also imbibed to the people about, especially the drivers, and also interview of the road, what to say, people, road users, and their concerns are taken on board. And that way we are actually addressing this particular project. So this is my overall presentation profile. I'll be speaking for about 45 minutes to 55 minutes. Then we will have 15 to 20 minutes discussion if you want. So as you know, the Nagpur is such a city having as it's a center located at the I can say epicenter of the country. The 0 mile we call it. It is one of the major landmark in the city. So it is having such a kind of geographical locational advantage. I'll just make it 1 second. I'll make it in. I hope my mouse movement is visible. Mouse movement, Sanjay, it's visible?
Sir, it is visible. Cursor is visible.
Yeah, cursor, yeah. So I'm just trying to, what a city is having good connectivity. As I told you, it is located in the epicenter. So road is obviously is one of the major one, and rail is another one, and air has also gained lot of momentum for intercity travels. It is having such a geographical locational advantage. And also, the Honorable Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, hails from this particular place. That's why he prompted to Intel to go about in pursuing this task. So that's why this project got matured enough to execute it. But the only thing is that project is executed with the own funding of each of the participating institutes, not that any of the road owning agency are giving any fund. That is a slight difference here. And as you know, the city, as I told you, intercity connectivity is too good. And as is city, as we see the order of the day nowadays, other than the public transport system, which is basically the bus-based systems in first order and second order cities, we see the addition of metro corridors as well. So though the corridor ridership is somewhat less, but it is they are trying to bring in two corridors are there. So once when two more corridors come, they are expecting better ridership will come. So it is not even reached 2 lakhs ridership as we understand that. So this is the profile of the things, and this is one of the unique city wherein 3 levels are there. As you see here, rail metro is up, and then the road is at the 2 levels. Sorry, 4 levels. You can see the cross road thing as well as one, and then fourth one. So that is the level of things which has been reached in the city. And but if you see the see, kindly just I want to tell the thing. My concentration will be only the Nagpur urban and Nagpur rural. We are not concentrating outside of the city because it's a pilot study. We are trying to go up to the metropolitan area of the city. And so road safety scenario in the country per se, you know it very well. All of you know it, being transportation professionals. We know 100 and almost 4,50,000 50,000 crashes are occurring. Like 4,50,000 crashes, and which is contributing to almost 151,000 people getting killed, which is going endlessly so badly in our country. And even the people who are getting injured also is a tall number, though it has come down a bit compared to the subsequent previous 3-4 years. From 5 lakh people getting injured, it has come down to 4,51,000. But the worrying factor is the persons, if getting killed, has remained almost stagnant between 150,000 to 51,000. That clearly shows if a crash is occurring, though the crashes come down also, similarly crashes have come down, but in the from 5 lakh it has come down to 4,50,000. But the persons getting killed is a big cause of concern. That means that means that speed is a major thing, or the geometrics is a major problem. So associated lot of factors are there. They are contributing to the thing. If we come to the city per se, yeah, if you see the city of Nagpur per se here, like very interestingly, from 2008, it has from 1,000 almost reaching a peak of 1,600 crashes, and also the persons injured was hovering around that same range with about 50 to 70 numbers less. So that kind of scenario was there since 2008. But since 2016, if you see, there is some sort of a stabilization or slight declining trends. If you see from 2016 to 19, and like the number of persons killed on the roads, if you see in these 5 years period, 4 years period rather. So if you see, it is hovering between 200 to 250. So the same scenario what I told you for the pan-India level holds good in many of our metropolitan cities. That means the crashes may be coming down, but if the crash is occurring, that is invariably resulting in more fatalities. That's why though the number of crashes are less, or even the persons getting injured is somewhat less, but if a crash is occurring, that is resulting in more deaths. But if you see the comparison of the crash severity index of the city for 2019, it is 20, which is somewhat a welcoming sign as compared to the national average of 33.2. Because at the same time, we have to understand the fact in city with city limits, you don't expect the vehicles may be able to go at breakneck speeds because of the urban scenario, and also the junctions must be closely located. So that way, crash severity index being 20 is not a great it's a comfort zone, but it is somewhat a better scenario, I would say. So just the same thing I projected here with the persons getting killed. But only thing is profile of road scenario in Nagpur. If I try to see in terms of the classification of the road crashes by road types, if I try to give it for the, of course, there are no expressways running through the city. And now only the upcoming expressway is the one from Nagpur to Mumbai, which is still not at operational. But excepting that, if you see the urban roads are contributing for more grievous or the fatal crashes as compared to the national highways and state highways passing through the city. So, and also the Nagpur rural, that is the which is coming under the metropolitan area, they are contributing obviously for more number of crashes or deaths in rural environs because of the overspeeding thing, and also maybe the geometrics is not that great to accommodate that kind of speed. And so these are the major aspects which we have to take it, this city level and the rural level. If you see this rural is dominating in terms of the fatal crashes as well as in terms of the grievous crashes. So this is the scenario which we are with, wherein, as I told you, the total fatalities is between 200 to 250, and the injured is something in the range of 1,000. And these are the black spots which are identified as per the MORTH protocol, which has been, we have identified from the MORTH, as you know, MORTH protocol of 2015, which stipulates if the 5 crashes have happened during the last 3 calendar years or 10 deaths have happened, that particular location is supposedly called a black spot. That is the present definition available with us, because IRC document is not yet released, so we can't comment on it. But generally, this is the way a black spot is expected to be classified. So based on that thing, we have from 2019 to 21 data we have considered here to identify the black spots in the entire city of Nagpur. That is, city means, I mean city and the suburban limits, which goes up to the metropolitan area. So this project overview, when we were given this, when we were supposed to do it, we thought we will go for a implementation of a holistic safe systems approach by taking on board artificial intelligence as a tool for up to 50% reduction in road crashes or fatalities in the city of Nagpur by leveraging artificial intelligence over a period of 2 years. So that is once when the things gets implemented by 2025, we expect it can be brought down. That is what our project will end by 23, and by the time some of the measures gets implemented, so we can expect some sort of reduction. So in the, as I mentioned, there are 3 vectors: vehicle safety, mobility analysis, and infrastructure safety. So the vehicle safety, because it's a pilot study, and also it becomes doubly difficult to use the other forms of road transport, like a car, personalized car, or taxis. Though we attempted some taxis to put this kind of tool, what I am talking about. I'll leveraging artificial intelligence. I'll be showing it, and mobility analysis based on this vehicle safety imbibed in this artificial intelligence, that tool which is coming, we would be in a position to identify the locations which can turn out to be a black spot, that is potential road crash prone locations which can get identified based on this advanced driver assistance system. And the third one is the infrastructure safety, wherein developing the remedial measures, there is countermeasures for the identified existing black spots, which I showed you in the previous slide, and continuous monitoring of the road assets. So our strategy is whatever locations which can turn out to be a black should not become a black spot. So from that thing, whatever the collision avoidance alerts are coming through the buses which are installed with this artificial intelligence, they can be those locations can be prevented from turning out to be a black spot. And other than that, the infrastructure safety which is in that module, we are trying to give the typical countermeasures. So this is the stage of this particular project where we are actually we identified the thing, and where CAS alerts are coming for about 50 now 150 buses. Sorry, 250 buses. 50 buses we installed, and that particular 50 buses only I'll be talking in this particular presentation. 200 more buses where we have installed this CAS system. I'll be explaining it and showing you. And we have done black spot action plans. We are in the process right now. We are handing over to them for the 6 locations, the date, whatever black spot for that. And we'll be finally completing the project with the 37 locations where the black spots have to be taken on board, and also whatever the locations gets identified as a gray spot over a period of this entire pollution avoidance system alerts are coming, we would be in a position to review it. And also road safety awareness programs, because once when the alerts are coming, we will be frequently interacting with the this alerts are primarily coming here from the buses only. So the bus drivers will be sensitized about better management of their vehicle, how they are maneuvering the vehicles. If the more alerts are coming, they will be sensitized about it. So already one sensitization workshop was held, and similarly 2 more will be held to make them more better in handling their vehicle when they are using the road. And here, as I told you, the drawback is we are using only the buses, and because bus is the easier way to go about installing, and also more importantly in bus the blind spot is much more significant. For the extreme left side, nothing is visible. So that way these alerts which are coming will be quite useful. So this is the thing which I'll not go into this slide, which is not of any interest to you. Improving the safety of larger vehicle fleets through safe driving behavior, that is the vehicle safety. So how CAS devices improve vehicle safety here? So we are trying to put here, I'll just show you. Timely warning to drivers for distraction and indiscipline can prevent the accidents. So from that angle, so we are trying to generate these kind of alerts which are typically coming in high-end cars. The same thing has been put here, which encompasses here forward collision warning, pedestrian collision warning, headway monitoring warning, and lane departure warning, and even the signage identification in terms of if there is a signboard is there, speed limit sign is there, that can also be identified. The only in urban context we have to keep in mind this headway monitoring will not be a it can turn out to be a superfluous, only because you can't in Indian context, because of the traffic heterogeneity, HMW alert can become superfluous because the vehicles will be packing one after the other, and also the tendency for the two-wheelers to go right near to the another vehicle. So this alerts will become redundant in nature. So that's why we thought in urban context, we will be utilizing this forward collision and pedestrian collision alerts, which are more because it's a 2.5 seconds before it gives. So that makes more meaningful for the rear end collision to be stopped. And similarly, the blind spots which get created in the buses or any other, mainly in buses, the blind spot is very significant, and the pedestrian being a vulnerable target. So this two alerts, we are utilized it for our entire analysis purpose. So how the system is installed, just for your knowledge, I'm just telling, there is a camera focused on the road, and the display unit is there, which is actually about 7 inches screen display unit is there, and along with that there is a audio alert also comes within the cabin, so that if the whether it is a forward collision alert or pedestrian collision alert or headway monitoring or otherwise lane departure warning, everything it comes. So that particular thing it comes. And also prior to that thing, we are utilize the Vienna system. This system gives us the how the person is responding to the stimuli. So that also we have analyzed it to understand how the person is generally behaving when he is using the road, and prior to using the road or after using the road, both have been studied about for visual stimuli as well as for audio stimuli. Both have been studied to understand how the drivers are actually behaving. So, and also these alerts keep coming and gets analyzed. Post processing is done subsequently. We don't try to do the processing live. That is not required here. We are supposed to have the data available with us and then do the analysis and then come out with the this ones. So that's why generally Sundays are seeing somewhat lesser alerts because the traffic is somewhat lesser in this kind of cities, and other days, Monday being the peak, sometimes we get the alerts are much higher, and weekend also sometimes it comes higher. So these are the typical scenarios we got. Typical weekday, different time periods also. The buses run from, kindly note, the entire alerts are coming only from the buses. Here 50 buses are only this particular presentation encompasses. Our endeavor is to put it in totally in 350 buses. So another 200 has been already put, and which is being analyzed now, and 100 more will be put in the next 3 months. So this is the way we are expecting the things, and how the methodology of the thing is, basically we try to have a control periods rather. Control period is one period. At that time, driver is not sensitized about the safety alerts, but we will be doing the post processing of the data. So that way we had that kind of thing. Like we try to understand how without the alert, how the driver is behaving. And when the alerts start coming, we had two periods, we analyzed it, and we are trying to understand how the driver would behave for each of the various 4 alerts. Just I given here, these 4 alerts. And this overview, what if I try to give in this phase 1, 75 routes are covered and 80 kilometers per day per driver drives, and over 3 lakh kilometers of data has been analyzed. Post processing, I use the word again, post processing, and typical fleet operation data was used from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. data, and 1 month observation to allow for sufficient randomness. So here, as I told you, that major alert is a HMW, which we have totally neglected it. I told you the reason already. So our concern was utilize the main thing is the pedestrian collision and forward collision. Lane departure is also a thing which should be taken on board, but because of the bigger vehicle, the lane departure happening might be somewhat insignificant. If it is a car, and the lane departure will be much more significant, and also being an urban road, how much that will be an parameter, we didn't want to utilize it, because that's why we have zeroed in on to utilize the pedestrian collision warning and the forward collision warning. And safe behavior of the drivers, driver with improved safe driving behavior, we try to go about in understanding. Amongst the 50 drivers, as I told you, control period and the analysis period, both were taken on board. And we found that as you see here, the average alerts is the one which is actually the green one, as this one, this average alert, and HMW we have discarded, as I told you, and we use this forward collision, the orange one, and the PCW. So highest alert reduction was observed for the pedestrian warning because we found about 43 reduction among improved drivers, because we conducted a training program for them to understand the benefits of it. During the control period, we didn't tell them. After that, when the things started, like we given them the sensitization, then after that we found people are responding in much more better way. And also overall we found if you take HMW also on board, 48% driver demonstrated improvement in safe driving behavior, which we targeted to reach at least up to 70%, so that the alerts will stop tipping. And the maximum drivers showed improvement in keeping safe following distance. That is what the FCW, we wanted that to be improved, because pedestrian alert is one thing which may happen not everywhere, because only the jaywalking aspect may happen in the mid-block section of the road, or in certain locations wherein the junctions are there where the pedestrian is trying to cross in a hurry. So these are the two scenarios where we may be expecting more pedestrian alerts may come. But rest of the period, forward collision is an important part, so that we try to address it. And as I told you, the training program was conducted. 345 drivers were sensitized, and our training is now endeavor is to make 1,500 drivers to be given this kind of training, wherein other than the general training aspects, which we partnered with Ashok Leyland Institute for Driver Training and Research, we have tried to also give that IRAS, that our project IRAS says that 5 distinct alert along with the speed sign and all those things, what all the benefits of it, that has been that is being explained to them. And even the driver feedback on the alerts which are coming, we try to know it through some sort of with the experts, with the chief guests, they try to inform how they are finding these alerts to be of use or not. They are try to give their thing in the vernacular language, which we have tried to have a video made for the converted. So next step in this regard is we want to 350 vehicle NMC buses will be done, and we are already now we are done it. 250 is already complete now, so that is an old one. So now, and also we are now trying to give keep them a sustained way. WhatsApp fortnightly also we made a group in Marathi, so that they will be in a position to improve this driver improvement up to 70% and track overall road crash incidences involving NMC fleet. That is also important, because we try to do it in our own silos, without trying to understand whether the crash scenario involving buses, whether it is tipping or not. So that also we are trying to relate with the FIR data. And the second part of this vector, I told you, mobility analysis. With this data which is coming, the alerts, which we are calling as the gray spot. This gray spot identification, we are trying to utilize. This is a small methodology we developed, wherein the FIR and the black spots are also calibrated. The black spot data was basically calibrated whether that location is trying to give the same kind of alerts or not. Because as I initially showed you, 16 locations are still remaining as the black spot since 2016. So those locations, whether when the bus is passing through, whether this kind of black spot that alerts are coming or not, that also was actually calibrated. And then we went in for the CAS alerts, as I told you, two major things: forward collision and pedestrian collision. They have been given the weightage, and then we went about in understanding it. So to arrive at the gray spots. So this gray spot identification for the entire 1,575 kilometers has been geocoded, but right now 50 buses only which are running in some sparse network was taken. So once when we put it in 350 buses, we may cover the entire city to a large extent. But the geocoding has been done for 1,575 kilometers, and this is the type of the junctions and things like that are there. As I told you, 37 black spots, and the FIR locations are spread over the city for the period of 1st January to November 21. And during this operational control phase and operational phase, we have done this thing for the first 50 buses, and similarly we are doing it for the next 200 buses now. So the FIR analysis, what we have done is we have actually tried to understand from the FIR, which is translated from Marathi to English, and also to understand what sort of major crashes and minor crashes are there, and also vehicle involved with pedestrians, which we expect in any cities, which will be ranging between 65 to 90%. That is true in this case also. You can see here about 67% of the crashes are involving the vulnerable road users. Here, even the autos are not included here. So that is a big cause of concern. So we have, our target is to involving the buses right now, because we are not putting this CAS in the other vehicles. So the identification of gray spot, as I told you, we have taken the PCW and the FCW. So based on that thing, we went about in identifying about 20 locations in these 36 routes are having the problem. These locations can turn out to be a black spot in the foreseeable future. So this could be due to intersecting norms issues, or the lane width issue, or the divided carriageway, or the unsignalized intersection is the issue there, absence of free left turn, or unchannelized, presence of absence of street lights, and markings is not there. So these kind of various issues which are identified on the location, we are trying to understand it. And comparison of the alerts during 3 phases also we are done. That is a control phase for these things. Control phase is one thing which I told you, drivers are not intimated. In operational phase 1 and 2, they are intimated, and also they have been given the training. So in that, so we found this PCW is one thing which near the blacks, there's a blind spot issue, which is actually a big higher thing is happening during the 3 phases. And but in the operational phase 2, for the during night time, if you try to see, there is somewhat because of the, in certain phases we found night time is slightly lesser of the alerts which are coming. And we see alerts which are coming, we need to be ground cross-checked also. So that way we found these locations, whether whatever ranking it is coming, what is the real problem on the ground. That also we visited, and then we will be in a position to give the engineering measure for that location, so that that location will not turn out to be a black spot in the foreseeable future. And this is a data sheet which gets maintained there. As I told you, another thing, parallel activity which we are doing is the road user opinion survey about to understand the road users concern about the different type of facilities given to them. So with the specific targeting of the vulnerable road users, that is pedestrians, cyclists, and two-wheeler drivers. So we try to cover about 66 and 34% of the male and female population, and 45% people feel that they don't they do not get a safe waiting area before crossing the roads. So this is one of the major issues. We try to give it in that location to make it a depressed median, and also make that location, if it is a junction area, it should be given with the raised curb, and also with the concrete guard pole should be there, so that the people will be feeling more secured in crossing the road. And also cyclists are about the absence of traffic calming measure, the free left turns. This we are trying to make it a generic thing for all the 37 locations, and including the gray spots, wherein that you need to provide a traffic calming measure in the form of at least a speed table. That should be the because speed table is one thing which can really give a lot of relief for the traffic which is moving, as well as for the people who are crossing the road. And cars and two-wheelers have been found to be most difficult to cross against. That is one of the people's concern, probably because of the speed of these vehicles are much more higher. And they were at the major junctions, 75% of the pedestrians felt the need for having exclusive pedestrian signal faces. So this vector will be generating the list of black spots for every quarter, gray spots rather, detailed analysis for day and night alert, and action plan. Right now we are going there, our team is going there with an NGO to do educational and awareness program, that we are doing it in these 5 top ranked black spots. And lastly, that infrastructure safety, which is, as I told you, that identified as 37 locations have been identified, and based on the crash data of 3 years data. And we try to utilize the previous CMP reports also to analyze whether there is any trend is there, or otherwise interaction with the traffic police and other NMC officials, and alternative countermeasures to be developed. So this way, this I told you, this is the thing which I mentioned. Again, I'm showing 37 locations, not 38, 37 black spots. 18 are continuing since 2016. That means 18 were identified in 2016 itself by the road owning agencies, various road owning agencies. They have not been, till today, they have not been rectified to the extent possible. That's why it is continued to be showing. And that includes 9 are the mid-block locations and 28 are the intersections. And so here what we targeted is in the intersection area, 250 meters from the each of the approach arm of the intersection, we try to give the generic comprehensive traffic management plan, as well as the engineering improvement plan. In the case of mid-block locations, 500 meter on either side of the road, because as you know, the way our data gets recorded for the FIR is not foolproof in nature. So we try to cover a 500 meter stretch on either side. About a kilometer full geometric design improvements are given. And the most common issues which are identified in these locations are the basically traffic pole in the extreme right hand side. That is really a problem which becomes very difficult for the traffic which is moving on the left lane to notice it. And the absence of traffic appurtenances like road signs, markings, delineators, unsafe construction zones, obstructions on the footpaths. Like you see the various kinds of obstructions which we see it, and ill-maintained islands. Islands, you can see there is no depressed median for the people to cross, and wide open area without wide open area lacking design. You can see here such a big area which has been made with the interlocking block pavers without proper channelizers. And also the junction area is too much openness. That makes it a difficult task for the negotiating traffic to negotiate through, as well as there is no channelizers which are essentially required, which are missing. So I'll just show you typical design improvements we have done, which is everybody must be doing it. So we found this kind of locations, or two typical locations I'm just giving. Channelizes treatment for pedestrian crossing is missing. Continuous footpath is missing. Soft traffic information, the free left hand is missing. Edge line zigzag marking is missing. And road signs, all type of road signs are missing. Diverging and merging locations. This is the actual the ground survey plan. All these 37 locations, we have done the physical survey plan. We had to get it done because none of the road agencies were able to have that thing, and traffic data was collected at these locations for about 12 hours duration to understand the traffic profile and the composition. Obviously, two-wheelers are the major dominant things. It occupies between 60 to 75% in many of the locations. We did about, out of 37 locations, we did it in 21 locations because some of the locations are somewhat nearby. So the traffic characteristics and the scenario remains the same. So 21 has been effectively identified, and there we are done. And the spot speeds of the mid-block locations also we did, and certain locations to understand how is the average speed and the 85th percentile speed. And this is in certain locations we try to develop a couple of options. This is one such location wherein the Chickley Square intersection, this is a conventional signalized intersection wherein we try to provide channelizers with a depressed median as well as proper safe avenue for the pedestrians to cross at the intersections with the pedestrian signal phase, and also the host of signboards and markings and other stuff like that, and also the intersecting left in left out roads or otherwise roads which are coming and meeting, and also the locations where there is turning is there. So such a kind of conventional designs are also given, and in certain locations where the right of way is available, we try to give this is the way we try to illustrate for the road owning agency people to understand. So this way just 3D representation of it is given to make the people understand. Speed table has to be given on all the left-turning, free left-turning approaches. And also you can just see how much the road will look like for them, just for them to understand. And also the crash-prone rise zone area signboards and so many other things which are expected to be on the ground. They have been put, and also zigzag marking has been done so that hazardness of the area can be properly delineated. And in this particular Chickley Square, because the right of way is available, we have gone in for left in left out. What I mean, this closure of the median, and try to give U-turn on either side of the major approach, so that and considering the traffic flow which is actually turning is dominated by cars and two-wheelers, with only 1% maximum during the peak hours buses are going. So that way that median opening given with the 12 meter, U-turn opening was given with 1.5 lanes on either side, extra 1.5 lanes, so that we will be able to provide us moving through traffic. And also with the when we provide a U-turn, as you know it, the conflicts get reduced from 24 to 8. So this is one such location where the possibility is there for to give it. That's why we are given. And also the location where we can give the pedestrians to cross with the proper signal phase at the center of the intersections, exclusive phase for the pedestrians. So this also we have demonstrated here for the road owning agency to understand how good this kind of plan can be, with the transverse bar marking and to be put up front, or all these things have been given. And similarly for mid-block locations, one thing I just given. So this is one such location where 12 fatalities and 7 crashes have occurred during the last 3 years. So the junctions are having some problems, minor junction passing through this mid-block area. and the school in front of it is having an issue. So before the school and after the school, this is the base plan of that 1 kilometer stretch, 500 meter on either side of the Prakash High School. And this is a traffic profile in terms of the mid-block location, the speed as well as the traffic thing. Obviously, 12 hours traffic data was done. Here also you can see the two-wheeler dominates the flow, with followed by cars and other three-wheelers or the other modes which actually go about in doing it. And here 1 kilometer entire plan has been developed as a A0 size drawing, which can be utilized by the people to go about in developing the things on the ground. So this also replicated in the form of minor junctions where you need to provide what sort of facilities on the ground. They have been replicated on the photo itself. And similarly, when there's a metro line is going on, about putting the various zigzag marking or other stuff like that, or otherwise median markers, and so many things which are expected to be there on the ground. Everything has been delineated and shown to them. And similarly, this at the school area where you make the speed table, so that has been actually shown at that location along with the proper signs and markings. So next steps is that we are completed after the 6 till now we are completed, and we are handing over, our team is handing over these drawings to them, and 31 to be completed in the next 3 months. And the broad action plan is that we will be giving the action plan for all the 37 black spots, and 5 black spots will be considered for educating and equipping volunteers with life-saving kits. That is through the NGO initiative. Intel is trying to do it. The 6-month summary, if I try to say it, we have done this thing already. 50 vehicles have been equipped with this thing. 48% drivers have shown improvement. 200 more vehicles are being equipped with CAS devices now, and 345 drivers have been given this VNR test system and underwent training program. Mobility safety, we identified 20 gray spots, and the NGO has been partnered to give the awareness, and real-time gray spot analysis is being done. Of course, post-processing. An integrated GIS database, as I told you, for 1,575 kilometers has been made operational. So that data can be utilized by anybody, and we are just maintaining it. It is made at the Triple IT Hyderabad. And infrastructure safety, as I told you, from the 117 spots data, we identified the 37 as the black spot. And also the survey, topography survey has been done for all the 37 location, and 6 DPR have been completed, and broad action plans for the 37 are being handed over. And now intensify the driver awareness campaign, which we are going to do in the next August, and target driver improvement to move up to 70, because right now it is only 48%, and monitor incidences or road crashes, and expand gray spot related on-ground action plans. As I told you, 20 locations have been identified. For that, we'll be giving the engineering improvement, and similarly, so that it will not turn out to be a black spot in the future. And drive black spot remedial plan implementation, which is basically the onus lies on the road owning agencies like NMC, NHA, because Mr. Honorable Minister is behind the show. There is every possibility that during the road safety committee meetings, where he himself chairs every 6 months, 3-monthly meeting he doesn't take, every 6 months he does take, because he represents that constituency. He will be able to drive it through to get it implemented, and develop the road safety index and road quality index. That is another module which we are going to attempt. So this project was launched on 11th September 2021 by the Honorable Minister. So right now the project is up and running. Thank you. Sorry, I took slightly more time. 50 minutes.
No problem. Excellent presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and now it is open for discussion.
Sir, this is Shahim, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, why you didn't include the enforcement and emergency to this project, sir?
Enforcement. Kindly repeat.
Enforcement and emergency part. You are concentrating only on engineering part, right, sir?
Yeah, enforcement,
Yes, sir, we can
basically,
have.
yeah, that is one part. We are, like, that I told you, that you are March. Those people are now trying to do at that black spot. Uh, if at all any crash occurs, they will make an attempt, they are telling. Because see, there is no live team is available on the ground to do this thing. So local presence is essentially required, and local support is there only in terms of providing the data. That's all. Beyond that, nobody is ready to participate in anything or everything. That's why we can't go for emergency part, because we expect we are to uh, uh, not the crash not to occur. If it occurs, we can't really do anything about it. I would say that is beyond our scope. That's what I can say.
Sir, what are the plans that you are going to implement for reducing the two-wheeler accidents, crashes?
Yeah, that is see. That's what my point is that the forward collision alerts. I didn't go much into the thing, but in the forward collision alert, we found about in the buses, from the buses coming, 30% are basically the two-wheeler things. So because of the blind spot which two-wheeler can create for the if a vehicle is suddenly turning from left and there is a small obstruction, and because of the blind spot on the right on the extreme left, he may not be able to sight it. So that is, see, near crash incidences we found was not more than 2%. But we are trying to say only is that before the crash occurs, this particular alert is coming. So with that, we expect like the driver of the mightier vehicle here is bus. Similarly, this kind of system should be made operational in cars as well. Cars is having nowadays, all high-end cars are having this system, if you go by this thing. And similarly, there are, I would say, even the people who want to go about in procuring it locally, they can also put it in their own vehicles. So whatever the vehicles you have coming with this kind of facility, it will sensitize the driver. So the driver is the major person we are trying to target, and based on the data, since the data is coming like this, we are trying to utilize it to identify the gray spots. So we are trying to use this data as a information which is coming out of the alerts. That's what our endeavor here is.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Somebody has typed some question, I suppose. I don't know where I have to see. Somebody has typed any question? No. Anybody typed any question?
No. That was only
No.
we asked them to like post their questions in the chat box.
Yeah.
So there is one question. While doing black spot analysis, let's say for 150 kilometers, then do we need to take progressive chainage or dynamic chainage of 500 meters?
What you are asking? Progressive or dynamic change?
Yeah.
No, basically, if you see one major drawback which we find even today with the way our law and order police only reports this kind of data, and he or she who reports it, they write it referring to the, unfortunately, a landmark, which can be an intersection or which can be some sort of a school or some sort of a big location where the say a major intersection is there. So like that they write it. So that only prompted us to go at least, say for example, Prakash High School or Chikli Square. Then the Chikli Square or otherwise Mahalki Nagar Square. They write Mahalki Nagar Square, but in Mahalki Nagar Square per se, you don't see any immediately a major problem exactly at the intersection. But the location could have been 200 to 250, 300 meters. So that's why our endeavor was to go up to 500 meters. 500 meter on either side, so that we will be in a position to cover that location from all corners, so that the geometric improvements which are done by this road owning agency will encompass this obvious limitation in the data collection.
So, this is Ashish here.
Uh,
Actually, good evening, sir. This is the question which was put and read was my question. Let's say I'm analyzing 150 kilometers black spot. So
150 kilometers black spot.
I have a 150 kilometer stretch. Let's say 150, 200, 250 kilometers.
Okay. In the stretch, okay, you are identifying. Okay.
Yeah, I have all my data. So right now, what I have to do is that I have to find out black spot. If it is a 10 kilometer, 15 kilometers, it's easy to go for dynamic 500 meter. But as per IRC MORTH guideline, it says 500 meters. So should I take progressive or dynamic 500? If I'm going to take dynamic 500 meter for, let's say, 150 kilometer, then it will be a huge task for me to find out the dynamic thing. So that definition is not clear. So
yeah, I understand. That's why the IRC 131, we are trying to revisit this definition in a different way. Because of this, we went by the MORTH protocol only because that is the only document, official document available. But only in this, the best part about this particular protocol is it is trying to tell very with the clarity, with some sort of a clarity, over a stretch of 500 meter. It says one line. So it should be taken as a progressive only. If you are doing a stretch analysis, but it should be done backside and front side, both this side as well as that side. Matlab, if you are going, say for example, from kilometer 1 to 2, so 500
LHS
meter
as well as RHS.
No, 500 meter there behind, 500 meter ahead, like that. LHS, RHS obviously there. What I mean is LHS and RHS both have to be considered. That is one part. If it is a divided carriageway, the second part is that 500 meter. Say for example, a kilometer 1.3 is identified, or the location, say one major intersection is given. That intersection is located at kilometer 1 kilometer by 300 meters. You are supposed to go 500 meter on either side on all the approach arms of the intersection. And similarly, if it is a mid block, 500 meter backside as well as 500 meter front.
Understood, sir. Understood. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
Sir, this is Anish from NATPAC.
Yeah, Anish, tell me.
Good evening, sir. I just had some doubts regarding the ADAS system that you have placed in the particular bus. So that belongs to Intel, or which is a company that's providing it, sir?
Yeah, it is Mobi. It is basically, I would say, it's not. First of all, this kind of ADAS systems are available not only by Mobi. Mobi is a company which is based in Israel. They have been acquired by Intel about in 2008, 19, I suppose. 19, they acquired this Mobi company. So now it is under the flagship of Intel. But other than this Mobi, there are 2-3 reputed companies are also supplying this kind of ADAS, and which have the same kind of capability. That's what I told you. Many of the higher end cars, sedan vehicles, or higher end sedans, or higher end SUVs, higher end CRVs, they are coming up. They are coming with the pre-installed these things by very reputed companies, or supplying it. It's not that Intel one is the only thing which you have to go for it. Intel is branding the Mobi only.
Okay, sir. Sir, any reasons behind choosing buses for the
Yeah,
implementation?
that is a easier target. I told you, because it's a NMC. One is easier target. But I put it. I try to accept what is possible. What is because NMC is a thing which can be easily approached and put, and then monitoring will be much easier. And these commercial drivers can be easily targeted, and they can be given a pointed training. But we did approach some of the taxis. But otherwise, that private vehicle means it is we can't have any control over it. No, private car owners. So we can't have control over it. But in the taxis, we have done it about 10, almost 7, 8 taxis. But the results are not that encouraging. That is a problem because taxis run as per their totally customer driven. And also they try to show some business related issues are there. So it becomes slightly difficult to target other than commercial vehicles. Truck can be certainly approached, but truck is not a material which need to be done for urban roads. That's why we didn't do it. Of course, for interurban roads, truck and buses both can be targeted, I would
Okay.
say. Thank you.
So one more question, sir. You're using a Vienna system, you said, for
Yeah,
assessing.
Vienna system is to understand how the people are responding to the stimuli before these CAS systems are installed. Generally, we wanted to understand because the CAS is one thing which we are communicating to them later. Okay, that we are telling this, though something is put on the vehicle, no alert is coming to them. Okay. Initially, no alert comes to them for the 1 month period. During that period, we analyze their general response stimuli in terms of video as well as audio alerts. That system works with you have to tap the certain keys as you keep hearing. In Hindi or English, whichever language you want to listen. So that way, the person is asked to type key in the things. So how he is responding, we did it on the laboratory environment before uh, uh, doing this CAS monitoring of the after the CAS is installed, how the people are behaving, that we separately monitored.
Okay, so okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
So myself, Shalini from
Yeah,
NATPAC.
Shalini, how are you? Yeah.
Fine, sir. My question is like the severity index which you have shown now that has been developed by this study based on some
Yeah.
regression or
Yeah, we have based, it's a, Dr. Mukti and one more of my triple IT person and myself, we three were involved in this thing. So we are trying to develop based on our normal understanding of the urban traffic scenario. As I told you, pedestrian collision and forward collision are the major aspects we need to study. So from that angle, and how much that weightage is coming for the forward collision and pedestrian collision. So that we have tried to analyze it from the ground realities, and then we worked it out. So it's ongoing. We tried to publish as a paper. That paper is also under preparation now. Sorry, it is under consideration for some journal. So that is what it's basically a work which we have done it based on the data which we have got. That's all.
okay, sir. And regarding the safety index and the quality index, which
Yeah, that is separately not at attempted because why that is because that system has the capability to understand what is the road scenario. That particular module is still not active in the system. So that's why we will be once when that module becomes active in the system, we'll be able to like what we see in network survey vehicle. No, you remember network survey vehicle that which has the capability to give. Similar such capability is emphasized here. So once when we get that capability enabled, then only we will be in a position to work on that. I should not have kept it here because that is only a internal one. I forgot to delete because till now that module is not enabled.
Okay, sir. And the ADAS system which is being installed in the buses, does it give only the alerts? And if some driver who is not in a defensive mode, if he neglects or ignores the alert and keeps on speeding, does it have a mechanism to control the speed also, or
No,
it is
no,
discretion of the
no,
driver?
no. It's only the alert is coming and speed limit sign it will recognize. And if that speed limit sign is put on the road and if he is speeding beyond that thing, it will give an alert for him. But there is no control in the vehicle connecting to the, because there is no tampering of the vehicle is done here. That is what the issue here is. So that's why there is no question of speed of the vehicle is brought down due to the alert. If somebody is not obeying that alert.
Okay, sir. Then the driver responds to the alerts, how that is being exactly measured, like that mechanism by which the driver responds to each alert is measured.
Yeah, we are post-processing only, Shalini. Everything is done post-processing only. Like the data gets as saved. As I told you, GIS platform has been totally geocoded. 1,575 kilometers has been geocoded. So we get to know the speed of the vehicle at each and every instant of time. And also if there is alert is coming, at that time that alert will get linked to that particular GPS coordinate. So then more number of alerts are coming for that individual, then we will be sensitizing him that here to perform better. So a weekly analysis is done and the report card is given to the driver that you have exceeded certain number of alerts like this.
Okay.
Till now, there is no crash has happened. That's what I would say. After the alert has come, and despite that, that fellow has gone, and one alert we found color has come. It is a minor. There is no FIR got recorded. FIR was not recorded. We ourselves were when our persons were doing some surveys, we noticed, but it was a minor crash, and it was not a minor property damage. And but the alert came. Obviously, we found that alert was there, but he has not responded for that thing. But we don't have any supporting data to tell. But of course, there is no provision to control it. It's only the driver sensitization possible after the data is analyzed.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Sanjay here.
Yeah.
Why is it that as you said, urban sections are having more crashes than the highways? Normally, sir, we expect this speed to be come down in the urban sections. So what would be the reason, sir?
It's a very what I compared there was specific to the urban Nagpur urban. Nagpur rural is more. That's what I told. No, Nagpur rural is more fatality. I told rural is more than Nagpur urban.
Okay.
I told that way only.
Okay, sir. Right.
Rural only more in the presentation. Kindly see what I sent you. Just you can see it. It is, and of course, fatal entire crash data also shows that fatality is more in the interurban or rural environment as compared to 62% and 38% is in the urban environment. In urban environment, fatality happens during the lean hours of traffic, not during the peak hours or otherwise even non-peak hours also when the traffic speeds are not conducive enough to be, because of the heterogeneity in traffic mix, you may not be able to speed that much. So that's why the crash data also shows in that way only. One more question from anybody. Is there a provision of real-time driver alerts at black spot locations? No. Real-time driver alert is coming, and that data we only cross-validate it. He gets the alert. Whoever is asked, he gets the alert. But he gets, then he is supposed to be cautious there. In the black spot location, we got it validated also. That location is giving that kind of alerts. The alert will come. That audio and visual alert will come.
Yes, sir. This is Anusha, sir, from CET.
Yeah, Anusha, how are you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So the real time, once if the person does not get a real time alert, will he respond positively so that there is no chance of crashes happening? Or otherwise, how this would be beneficial, sir, to the vehicle
Yeah, it's a
or in the black
good
spot?
question. Yeah, see, he is getting real-time alert. He's getting the alert, but the speed cannot be reduced. That's what I'm telling you. Whatever asked was, speed cannot be reduced for that vehicle. He gets the alert. Somebody asked, no, Anusha, like whether the speed can be controlled. That is not possible. But he gets the alert.
And he will have to reduce the speeds, understanding
That is alert. He will be given a that report sheet will be given at the end of the week by the NMC to them. And with this thing, but there is no in-vehicle mechanism to bring down the speed. That's what I just want to tell.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, good evening. Ebin Sam here, sir, from NATPAC.
Yeah.
Sir, it was an excellent presentation, sir. I have one question, sir. Sir, you have told that in the black spot locations, we have received the more number of alerts compared to the other locations. Sir, black spot stretch is around a 500-meter stretch. So within the black spot stretch, where do you find the concentration of alert is maximum, say bus stops or pedestrian crossings or minor intersections like that?
Yeah, it is basically at the left in, left out junction sometimes, or otherwise where the designated pedestrian crossing is not properly given. That locations where actually pedestrians are crossing, but you are not given a proper provision for them to cross. So in such kind of locations where large number of pedestrians are expected to cross, but you are not provided a designated pedestrian crossing. That is one particular potential location we found. And also if the free left turns which are given, they become a real speeding locations. You are not given a because free left turn are given, but the pedestrians have to cross, or otherwise even people, cyclists who want to go at the intersection by crossing that left in, left out wala. That is also a location we found alerts are coming. And also forward collision alerts are coming at the nearer to the side distance issue locations, where the side distance issues are there due to any sort of obstruction or any problem. So that forward collision alerts are coming. So which reinforces the fact that this black spot is having this kind of problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, one more question. Like among the three kinds of alerts that you have been explaining, the pedestrian collision alert, then the
forward collision alert,
forward collision alert, and the lane departure.
Yeah, lane departure.
Out of this, if was there a comparative analysis between these types of alerts and which was found to be the major one there in Nagpur? And one other I wanted to ask regarding the lane departure alerts. How that alerts could be given on roads where the lane markings are not even done.
Yeah, that's correct. It's a very good question. Lane departure alert will come only when the lanes earmarked are distinctly visible. If it is not there, it will not be able to distinguish it. As simple as that. So that's why road owning agency should play a critical role here. It will not on its own tell that vehicle has detoured from that one middle lane to the shoulder lane, or shoulder lane to the middle lane, or shoulder lane to the middle lane to the median lane, like that. That kind of lane marking is essential. Coming to the other question, what you are asking, you asked what question? I've forgotten. Hello. You asked second. First question you asked, no?
Yeah, more prominent.
First question is,
which alert was more prominent in Nagpur, in the area where you have conducted the study? Out of this, because if we see it in Kerala.
Yeah, that's right. I understood. Yeah. Headway monitoring alert was the maximum, but we discarded it. I told you the reason already. Then comes the forward collision and pedestrian collision. Hello?
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Any other questions?
Nothing in the chat box.
Okay. Any questions in chat box?
No, sir, nothing.
Nothing. If that's the case.
Yeah, thank you.
No. Like,
yeah, please.
Sally, I think you asked more questions, so you have to thank Velmurugan, sir.
That's right.
Yeah. Over to Sally.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, it was very unexpected though, but I think you were such a nice person to me always, that I don't need any much formality in thanking you, because I have been doing it every time when I was interacting with you. With the 2 weeks of, the road safety audit training that we have got from CRRI was itself the best experience I had in my road safety engineering learning. And in continuation to that, today I was feeling very grateful that I got an opportunity to listen to you again. And it was a very, that is linking the artificial intelligence and its applications in road safety engineering has been a novel topic. The realistic study that you're doing currently being shared with us was very a novel and an innovative experience for us also to listen to you. And it had been a great learning for all of us, I'm sure. And thank you so much, sir, because we also
Thank you.
Have been experiencing a lot of problems, even if the roads are bettering day by day, but there is no decline in the number of accidents. That is a reality. And NATPAC being in the R&D area, we are all bound to do more of studies and experiment on how to improve the road safety part on our roads. So this has been a great learning for us, the kind of experiences shared by you. And also we also look forward to listen to you more often from your experience, how this is being conducted in Nagpur, and what are the results that you could see there. So we also look forward to listen to you further on this study. And on behalf of NATPAC, and all the transport enthusiasts who have attended this, I thank you from my heart that we had a very wonderful learning today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Shalini, you should thank the other teachers, CET faculty and others also were attended that one. So you should thank them also.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Anusha.
Anusha was there and
Yeah.
in fact, lesson, I
Thank
think
you very
many
much, sir.
students also joined from different places.
No problem, sir. I am really, really
On
impressed.
behalf of NAT,
Asha is not there today, but Asha Lata is not there.
Asha is busy with their convocation, I think. Am I
Acha,
right,
yes.
Anusha?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
Okay.
on behalf of NATPAC, we express our sincere gratitude to all the faculty, Anusha Miss and all others who have joined from the different academic institutions, and all the research scholars and students, and all those who have assembled online and offline here to listen to this very informative and interesting session on road safety engineering. And once again, thank you, sir, from
Thank
our
you.
heart.
Somebody is
Velmurugan.
asking YouTube link. I don't have, so you have to.
No, we will share. We can
That's
share.
right. Somebody has written. That's right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
I
Velmurugan.
already shared the presentation. It can be shared.
Yeah. But this is recorded. The presentation is recorded. So it is.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
Yeah. Jamie Matthew. Who is Jamie Matthew?
She's, I don't know, but she's attending all the days, sir.
My student. എന്റെ ജമി തന്നെയാണോ?
അതെ സാർ അതെ.
ഞാൻ മുഖം ഒന്ന് ഞങ്ങള് ഇങ്ങനെ സംശയിച്ചിരിക്കുക അതായി ജമി എന്നുള്ളത്. ഒന്ന് മുഖം കാണിച്ചാൽ ബാക്കിയുള്ളവർക്ക് കൂടെ കാണാം. താൻ എവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ?
ഞാനിപ്പോ ഡൽഹിയിലാ.
ഡൽഹിയിലാ?
അതെ സാർ, മുഖം കാണിക്കാം.
Velmurugan, Jemmy was my student. She passed out from NIT Trichy.
Acha, okay.
What are you doing
Is
at
she now
Delhi?
working? She's working with?
Actually, presently I am learning, sir. Actually, I have taken a break for my kids actually.
Okay. That's right. You are from? Then you are working with?
Actually, I work with the government of Kerala for 5 years. Then I worked with the National Highway Consultancy for 5 years. And then I work for my family. Then I am restarting my career.
Okay.
And I have taken a course on soft skill training also.
Okay.
So
That's great. That's
Thank you, Jemmy. Very good.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir.
See that. Notice that the last 2 days also you attended the program. Very good.
Thank you so much. Sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. So I finished that on time. That's good. Really. Okay. That's that on time. Thank you. Okay then. Okay, Professor. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Bye.